crafters, do you have a new Cricut or you're looking to get one? It's been a while now since I got my Cricut, and there's a few things that I wish I'd known before I got it. I'm Sarah and I love all things craft, especially Cricut crafts. I was given a Cricut machine as a Christmas gift from my family. They know I love craft and making all the things, so when they said, "What do you want for Christmas?" I couldn't think of anything else, so I said, "How about a Cricut?" I'd been thinking about it for a while, but I didn't know if I could justify spending that much money. So they all pulled their cash together and got it for me for Christmas. I'd done a little bit of research before I got it, but I must say, when I first opened that box, I was a little bit daunted. So the first thing that I wish I knew before getting my Cricut is that there's a steep learning curve involved when you first get it. So be prepared for that. There's so much information out there, so it's not that hard to find. But with so much information, it can be a little bit overwhelming. One place that I found was very helpful was Jennifer Maker. She does a great course from opening your Cricut box to cutting your first project. And it's simple and easy to follow. I'll pop a link to her Cricut kickoff course in the description if you're interested in that. I'm someone who learns by doing, and I found her course super helpful. There's countless videos and YouTube tutorials out there that can help you set up your Cricut. But I do recommend that you do a little bit of research first before you get your Cricut, so it's not so overwhelming. It's really not that hard to learn, but sometimes taking that first step can be the really hard part. The second thing I wish I knew is that I didn't need to get the most expensive machine. As my husband bought it for me, he went all out and got everything with all the bells and whistles. So he picked up the Maker, the Cricut Maker for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Maker. It is amazing. And I am so happy that he got that for me. But if this is your first Cricut and you're just starting out, you don't need to get the most expensive one. The Explorer, which is a little cheaper, will do you just fine. And it's also $100 or so cheaper. Sure, there's some differences between the Maker and the Explorer, but I find they're not that big. The Cricut Explorer can cut around 100 different materials, while the Maker can cut around 300. Now that sounds like a lot of difference, but when you look at it, most people are only cutting things like cardstock, vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, that kind of thing. And both of the machines do that. The Maker has a more powerful motor and more cutting tool options. It can also cut thin wood and chipboard, which the Explorer can't. And it can also engrave, deboss, and perforate, which the Explorer can't do either. The Maker also is the only one that you can use the rotary blade for, which you need for cutting fabric. So if you think fabric is something that you want to cut, then you'll need the Maker. In saying that, I have never needed to cut any of those materials, and I've only ever used the rotary blade once. But definitely check on the Cricut website for the comparison of both of those machines and see which one suits you best. I'll leave a link to that in the description below for you. But for me, I really didn't need the Maker. I was glad to have it, but the Explorer would have been more than enough for what I needed. I've actually since got myself another machine, so now I have two Cricuts. The second one I got was the Explorer, and it's been just perfect. The third thing I wish I knew before I got my Cricut was just how much fun it would be. If I had known that, I definitely would have jumped in earlier. Getting a Cricut for me, I would probably say, has been life-changing. Now that is a big call. But with my Cricut, I've actually started a vinyl decal business. And I've also started designing SVGs. SVGs are the design files that the Cricut machine uses to cut out the designs. If I didn't get the Cricut, I wouldn't have started any of those things. But even if you don't use it for any of those things, you don't start any businesses, it's a perfect crafting tool. The possibilities are endless. If you haven't got one and you're thinking about it, seriously think about it, because you will love it. I've had so much fun crafting with my Cricut. I can't even remember what life was like without it. So there you go. 3 things I wish I knew before I got my Cricut. The first one, be prepared for the learning curve. It's steep and you just maybe need to do a little bit of research before you jump in. Go for the machine that suits you. You probably don't need the one with all the bells and whistles to start off with. And expect to have fun. Expect to be really impressed with the things that you can make on it. If you have any questions about what Cricut is right for you, or maybe you just want to chat all things craft, leave a comment below and I would love to have a chat with you. If you already have a Cricut and you would like a free SVG every month, just click on the link in the description below and go and grab the free SVG for this month. And check out this tutorial I did for how to put together the free SVG for April. Thanks for joining me today on my crafty adventures. If you like this video, why not give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Enjoy your week, keep crafting, and I'll see you next time.